everyone, and welcome to Fun Fact Friday. Today we're going to go over 3 things that you can do to raise your credit score. I will preface this video with, I am not a mortgage professional, I am not a credit professional, I'm a realtor, obviously, but these things that you can do, if they apply to you, will help to raise your credit score. So let's dive right into it. Number 1, if you have credit cards and you are in good standing with those companies, you can actually apply for credit line increases. Now, there are caveats to that. First thing being, you want to make sure that when you go to do this credit line increase request, that they are not going to do a hard pull on your credit, okay? Hard pulls, no way. Soft pulls, okay. We're gonna go with it because it rhymes and I like it. So if you go on your website for your credit card company, there should be a little section there. It says credit line increase request. Do those. Like I said, if it's a hard pull, don't do it. It'll say right there on the site. And if you're not sure, give them a call and ask. Say, hey, are you guys gonna do a hard pull? It's gonna be a soft pull, what? If it's soft, go ahead and do it. When you do the request, you just put in some basic information about like an update on your income and how much you would like to request for. So you can request, hey, can I have $300? You'd be surprised. Sometimes you might get more than that. Do not, and I repeat, do not go, yeah, have more credit, and then go spend it. Don't do that. That defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do here. The main reason for doing these credit line increases is because you're trying to adjust your credit utilization ratio. So for example, let's say that you have a credit card, the limit's $500. You use $200 of that $500. Okay, so you're currently using 40% of that card utilization. Okay, following? Now let's say you raise that $500 to $1,000 as your credit limit. So now your $200 that you've used is now only 20% instead of 40% that you're utilizing. So when you do that with, as many cards as you can, that's going to raise your overall credit limit available, which is then in turn going to decrease any utilization percentage that you have on your cards. So that's why we do credit limit increases. So if you can do them, like I said, be in good standing with your credit card company, make sure they're not going to do hard pull, and then try. The worst they can say is no. The second thing I want to talk about today is items in collections. If you have followed my previous videos and I've told you, to get your credit report from the credit bureaus, you're allowed a free one every year. Go get one. Each bureau will give you one. If you see on there that you have things in collections, call the creditors directly, not a collection agency. If you've been getting things in the mail and say, hey, you pay us $500, we'll get rid of it. Don't call them. Call the creditor directly and say, hey, I see that I have $500 I need to pay you. Let me just pay it. Now, the reason why you want to pay these amounts in full, it's very important because if you actually negotiate a lower amount on your credit report, it'll actually show, hey, they paid it, they took care of it. It's going to show a 0. But actually in underwriting on your loan, when you're actually going to buy a house, it's going to say, hey, they took care of it, but they didn't really pay the whole amount. They negotiated a settled amount. So it's going to make it okay, but to the bank, they're going to think, okay, well, it's not, they're not really good borrowers if they're settling to pay a lower amount. So even on your credit report, it'll show as a 0 balance left. But when it goes to underwriting, it's going to say, they paid it, they took care of it, but it's okay-ish. It's not great. So pay them off in full. I know, when you have things in collections, you usually don't want to pay them. You can grit your teeth and just suck it up and pay them. Get it done, pay it in full. Don't negotiate for a lesser amount, okay? Please listen to my advice. The third thing I want to talk about is something that not everyone can do, but if you have the ability to do this, it's awesome, and it is a passive way for you to raise your own credit score, okay? So if you have someone in your family with great credit and they are financially stable, ask them if you can become an authorized user on one of their credit cards. Now, some people might just, the second you ask them, they're going to freak out and say absolutely not. You're going to preface it with, you are not going to be using that credit card. You are merely going to be an authorized user on their account. So they can still use their account all they want to use. They use their card how they want to use it. But They need to be paying their bill on time. They need to keep their utilization low. So basically, that first part that I was saying about finding someone financially stable with great credit is the most important factor of this, because all of their hard work is going to allow you, the added user, to reap the benefits and raise your score up. Again, these are the 3 things I'm going over today. Number 1, credit line increases. Hard pulls, no way. Soft pulls, okay. Okay? Number 2, items and collections, pay them in full. Do not negotiate lesser amounts. And number 3, see if you can become an added user or an authorized user on someone else's credit card. Also, with that, make sure it's one of their older cards. You don't want them to just add you to a brand new card. Try to get them to one that's old and has an existing payment history. If not, get what you can get, okay? Hopefully you guys liked the video. I wanted to give you info about each thing. If you have questions, feel free to message me, text me, email, call, whatever is easiest for you. Reach out anytime. I'm happy to help. One last thing you can do is subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please like and follow my Instagram and Facebook pages. I work hard on these videos, and I certainly hope that you guys like them. So if you like them, give me a like back. All right, guys, that's it, and I will see you next week for the next Fun Fact Friday. Have a great weekend. Bye.